Good morning, you guys. So this is the book I was talking about, Gift from the Stars, Alien Races by Alina Dannon. Saw an interview with her. It's really good. Anyway, let me just show you this really quick because I think this is super important that we understand our history. And one of the ways the controllers have kept us basically in a state of slavery and mind control is the fact that we don't know our history. So basically, what this book is about is this lady um, had a abduction when she was 9 years old. She got abducted by bad extraterrestrials. Now, there's good ones and there's bad ones. The bad ones would take people and basically harvest genetic material, do things to them without really just really horrible things. And so she was on basically on a craft, and the good extraterrestrials rescued her. She has a deep connection with a Pleiadian extraterrestrial, and they've known each other many lifetimes. And um, basically, they came and rescued her. They tried to heal her. They had put an implant in her head. The bad guys had put an implant, and they were able to basically um, change they're able to make the implant less dangerous. It still caused her problems, but eventually she was able to, because of this implant, she's basically able to communicate with um, this Pleiadian, the good guy. Anyway, let me tell you about these guys really quick. So this is one of her first, one of the first races. This book describes a lot of the different races that are involved on Earth. These are from the Andromeda Galaxy, and they're the bad guys. Um, they're basically, she says, are parasitic. Um, they're about the same size as a human, 120-year-old. They can live to 120, and they're motivated by rage, hate, and assimilation. Their ships are large, dark, and discoidal, with a circular row of lights plus a large aperture underneath. And their insignia is a black inverted triangle. So this is what they look like. That's what their ships look like, and that's their insignia. And they've tried to visit uh, our planet, colonize it. They got interfered with. Anyway, there's this book has a ton of information. I'm just starting it. Just started reading it. And there's lots of different races. These are good ones. There's just tons of information, all the different kinds of races. Now, I know that this stuff's true because of my own personal experience. I had meditations where I was seeing extraterrestrials in my meditations. Not scary or anything, but I was just being shown basically that they were real. It was kind of a confirmation for me. But she's an artist, so she draws pictures of the things she's seen and all the different races and where they're located in our solar system or where they're in our galaxy, where they're located. And so I think it's important. We need to know our history. I'm watching a video right now with Kathy O'Brien on Laura Eisenhower, and I'll try to link it. But basically, the gist of it is what Kathy O'Brien is saying is these bad things have been going on for a long time, and um, people have been either unwilling to know, or the Mockingbird media has been, very good at covering it up for them. But it's right out there in front of us. We can see it now. We're seeing it now. It's all going to come out. It's coming out right now, and in a big way with this election fraud. The election fraud is kind of the tip of the iceberg. The level of corruption runs very deep. But what she was saying about these, what this Elena is saying about the parasitic extraterrestrials is stuff that people have been saying for a long time. And I don't know if you've all heard of David Icke. He gets ridiculed a lot. He was a British professional soccer player, actually. He was a professional goalie, and he had real bad arthritis issues, and he became he worked for, like, he was like a sports guy for the TV there, the BBC or whatever. And so, he kind of had an awakening, but he talked about a lot of stuff like this, how the royal family was involved in basically this parasitic behavior, and how they were involved in basically doing, what we would call satanic ritual abuse. They would do, um, seances or whatever they're called, black magic, involved in those black masses where they summon demons and things like that, drink blood and all that. I mean, it sounds fantastic, and people don't believe it because it's ridiculed, and they say, "Oh, it's not true. It can't possibly be true because it's so horrible. How could something so horrible be true?" And there's a part of our mind that actually tries to protect ourselves. So the point of all of this isn't that we need to go out and shock ourselves with reality. That's not the point. But we need to know our history, and we need to know what happens, and where we went off track, and how we were manipulated. And she basically says in this book, and I don't have the exact page, but I'll try to find it really fast. She's basically saying that we were put about 100 years behind in our growth by these bad extraterrestrials. That basically what happened was, um, our government, the Eisenhower administration, was trying. Eisenhower himself had made contact with the good extraterrestrials, and he was trying to go that direction. But this cabal, these deep state, we call them now, the deep state people, made a deal with the bad extraterrestrials. And because of Eisenhower warned about the military industrial complex and all that before he left. And that's what he was talking about, was um, this MK Ultra group, the Project Paperclip group that came from the Nazis, that they just continued their programs in the United States, and they basically subverted democracy, and we're seeing the play out of that right now. But what they were able to do is basically create a shadow government that operated um, off of basically just parasitic, off of drug money, um, sex trade, all these different illegal activities, kind of like the mafia, but on a grand scale. And they infiltrated the government with their um, operatives, and it was very elaborate, and their blackmailing schemes and all that stuff. And so they were able to control the direction we went. And because these extraterrestrials are parasitic, I mean, they that's the model they follow. So they're following this parasitic model where they have to use people. And I mean, we can see it in our society. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I've always felt it was wrong. Even as a little kid, you just can't understand how we could be doing the things we're doing. Um, and so it's really important that we basically understand what we're up against. And it's not so important that we know every detail. We don't need to know every detail. That's not important. We don't need to know, the the gory details. And but we do need to know that these are soulless creatures that are actually, they're parasites, and they've been feeding off of us and feeding off of our energy. And so the key point is love. So love is the ultimate power. And as I said about my experience I had with Daji, I had that meditation experience, and I got to witness what this love was. At least I got, an experience of it, that I could make my own, because I couldn't understand something like this. It's not something we can understand. It's something you have to actually experience, because the power of it is so massive that um, it just absolutely negates all of this negativity. It takes out all of the negativity. And So, you know, I think our we need to know where we came from to a certain degree, but even more importantly, we need to be able to bring this love through us, be able to transmit this love through us, and um, create the energetic equivalent of that love in our own hearts so that we can transmit it. It's like we become this way station for this love to flow through. And when we do that, that's the transformation. That's where the real transformation comes from. It doesn't come from, running around arguing with people and, um, going out rioting and doing things. There's a certain amount of awareness that needs to be raised, but the love is the ultimate awareness raiser. And there are so many examples of just this how unconditional love can really affect and change people. There's a story that Peace Pilgrim told. She was a lady who walked across the country for basically peace during when we were having all the nuclear scares and stuff in the 50s and 60s. And she basically would walking for peace, and she would, go through towns, and they would, she'd do interviews and things like that. But she was definitely connected to God, to Source. She was an enlightened person, and she said she went into a bar or some kind of restaurant or something, and there was a guy drinking there, and he was a alcoholic, and he just being a bad person. He was spending money and time at the bar instead of taking care of his family, and um, she he claims that she looked at him, and it was such a feeling of unconditional love just that look that she gave him, the non-judgment, just the love, the love that she conveyed through that look, it made him change his ways. He stopped drinking and became a better person just from that. And so it shows us that, sometimes the biggest changes happen from the most subtle things. And this is why, doing a practice like Sahaj Marg is so powerful, because there's subtle things happening that we don't even know about on a conscious level. There's so much happening, and we just have to keep the faith and keep working on it. And like I say, this heart center will open up and become a way station. But ultimately, you know, um, that's the answer. That's what's gonna do it, and that's what's gonna transform things back to where they're supposed to be, which is from a place of love and light and um, that godly energy, surrounding us and flowing through us and directing our interactions and directing the direction we go, and we can have so much. And I see such a bright future for us because I see us at this transition point, and we're going to go through a lot of pain. And we've been through pain, but we're going to go through more pain as this awareness breaks on us. And there's going to be basically a downpour of information, and it's going to be so big that it's going to be impossible. It's like I guess it'd be like standing out in the rainstorm, even with an umbrella. When the water's coming from every direction, even with the umbrella, you're still going to get wet, and that's what we're going to have happen now. Even with the censorship and this information umbrella that the the Mockingbird media has put over people to control them, even with that, it's going to be, the information is going to be so profound and so voluminous that there's no way that they can hold it all back. And anyway, that's about it. Just wanted to pass that along. I'll try to link the video I'm watching right now, but it's on Laura Eisenhower channel, and I'm only into it about 20 minutes, but it's really good. And I'll talk to you guys later.